Dickie's Diary 29. Good day, friends, followers and fans. We arrived in Canberra yesterday for day 3 of the BS book signing tour. We were allocated a Waterhouse store very close to Parliament House. I was hoping to get some prominent political figures popping in to get selfies with me as they picked up their signed copies. It would be good publicity to use those photos as endorsements of the book, and they in their turn could demonstrate that they were connecting with leading community thinkers as part of their duty to the electorate. 2 birds, 1 stone. Kapow! Back scratching nailed. We had our table set up with books piled high. I was ready with my favourite Schneider ergonomically designed pen, and pretty soon we were churning out books like pasties at a bakery. After a few hours, a rather distinguished gentleman arrived with several busybody types faffing around him and carrying various items. To my horror, they were setting up a table and unloading books, pens and printed t-shirts with the man's face printed on every item. It was Malcolm Turnbull, there to promote his tell-all memoir about his demise from the highest political office, Prime Minister. At first, I was thrilled that we would be sitting in close proximity, and I was happy to allow him to bask in some of my radiant light. However, that all changed when the store customers began to take a little more interest in him and his book. It has been in the news a lot recently, so you can't blame them really. When I saw we were losing business, my attitude changed somewhat, and I began to feel that my book was being challenged. I felt that my authority was being undermined. I felt that my position was becoming tenuous and insecure, although I shouldn't expect him to understand how that feels. This isn't the first time either. The same thing happened in Melbourne a few days ago. I can't expect him to be able to appreciate what it felt like, so I went over to speak my mind. Heated words were exchanged, followed by a push, followed by a shove, followed by a slap, followed by a strike, and soon we were brawling on the floor. Just when I had him down and pinned to the floor, I was unceremoniously heaved away by 2 burly bodyguards. How undignified. Of course, they waited until he was clearly losing before they moved in. If he had been winning, they would have left well alone, wouldn't they? But Mrs. H was not impressed that they broke up what was turning out to be a good old-fashioned punch-up. Before they knew what had hit them, she was behind them both, as they held my arms. One was levelled with a solid blow to the kidneys, the other was dispatched with a book to the throat. Hardback too. Ouch. Mr. Turnbull saw which way the tide was turning and legged it out the front of the shop. We returned to our table and continued selling books all afternoon. The punters did not want my signature though. They wanted Mrs. H to sign their books. She left a lasting impression on them, just like she did on Malcolm's bodyguards. Ciao.